To test the WorldPay REST API, you need to start by creating a test account on the WorldPay website. This account will provide you with the necessary credentials to authenticate your API requests. Once you have your test account set up, go to the WorldPay developer portal and obtain your client key and client secret. These are used to authenticate your API requests. Next, you will need to choose an HTTP client to send your requests to the WorldPay API. Popular choices include Postman and curl. You will also need to set the authorization header in your HTTP client using your client key and client secret. Now you can start testing the WorldPay REST API. Begin by testing the payment endpoint, which allows you to create a payment. You will need to send a post request to the payments endpoint with the payment details in the request body. The payment details should include the amount and currency of the payment as well as the payment method. After sending the request, check the response to ensure it was successful. A successful response will contain a payment response object with a payment status. You can then use this payment status to determine the outcome of the payment. It is also important to test error scenarios to ensure your application can handle them. You can do this by sending invalid requests to the WorldPay API and checking the error responses. For example, you can test what happens when you send a request with an invalid client key or an invalid payment amount. Best practices for testing the WorldPay REST API include testing all possible payment scenarios and error scenarios. You should also test your application thoroughly to ensure it can handle all possible responses from the WorldPay API. Additionally, it is a good idea to use a version control system to keep track of changes to your code and to use a testing framework to automate your tests. By following these steps and best practices, you can ensure that your application is fully integrated with the WorldPay REST API and can handle all possible payment scenarios. This will help you to provide a seamless payment experience for your customers and to reduce the risk of payment errors.